it's the proudest day and the proudest time in the seat of a rally car, because that day and that hour and those minutes, I got the bit between my teeth. You know, I really stood up and was counted and said, this is not getting away. I remember when we pulled on our helmets and Donald says to me, what are we doing? I said, we're going for gold, Barrett. That's all was said. I can still picture that run. That was just the best run ever.
Welcome along to Crunching Gears, the rally podcast. What a difficult week it has been for Irish rally. We lost one of our heroes, Craig Breen. What can we say about Craig? It hasn't already been said. Nothing. He has just been such a loss, and he's going to leave a massive hole in Irish rally. And he has been at the very top of the sport. He, competed with the best of the best, and his star has shone bright, and no doubt will continue to shine bright for he is now. Just want to pass on our deepest condolences to his friends and family. Just lost for words. Not much we can say. Connor was already making the journey out to Croatia. Himself and a couple of other guys is out there at the moment, and I just spoke to a few of the guys over there from Ireland competing this weekend. First of all, we hear from Creighton, then Eamonn Kelly, then Patrick O'Brien. We also hear then from Eamonn Bowen, and then finally Martin Brady. There's also a short interview as well with Eamonn, which was recorded before this news broke at all. This was recorded early last week as well too. We weren't going to do an episode this week at all, but we just thought, just a few memories here from Croatia, and our heart goes out to everybody out there at the moment. It must be so difficult jumping into a rally car tomorrow morning, but wish you all the very best. Hope you all stay safe and have an enjoyable weekend, and no doubt we'll speak more about Craig in the next episode. Until then, take care and hope you enjoy this episode.
So William, here we are, we're getting ready for the ceremonial start. A couple of big days ahead of you. What's the thoughts and feelings?
Yeah, obviously it's been a difficult week for everybody, but I think we're now ready to start the rally. The sun has finally come out. It's been pretty wet for the entire Recce, so the stages are going to be probably slightly different condition, hopefully anyway, than we've seen over the last couple of days. But lots of people out. Going to be a really tricky rally, but a lot of pollution on the road, and gonna have to try and do our best, but looking forward to it. And
any stages in particular you think could be a bit of a challenge?
Definitely the first two out tomorrow morning are some of the most difficult in the rally, and going to be probably the most high risk for punchers and things like that. So if we can get through those and then build on that for the rest of the rally, that'll probably be the plan. And we see the surface changes constantly on the stages, never mind between, on different stages, like the stages themselves, it's just different surfaces every couple of 100 metres. Do you think that is a challenge for tyre wear, for punctures, etc.? What's your plan with regard to tyre management? It's difficult. The road is slippy even in the dry, and you can't even see when the surface changes, the grip levels. It's quite hard to predict at times. So, it's... In a way, we don't have much of a choice because the loops are that long that we have to probably go in the hard tyre if the stages are dry, even though the grip is quite low. But that's the plan.
And with regard to the JWRC Championship, what's the how are you thinking about that going into the weekend?
Obviously, with the stage win points, that's an important thing as well. So, to be honest, we just start the rally, try and get into a rhythm, build on that, and see where we are compared to everybody else. And we just try and collect as many points as we can. It's going to be a tricky rally, so try and just get started, take it from there, and try and build out through the weekend.
And William, you're brought up in tarmac stages at home. How does it compare out here? What is it completely different, or is there some similarities?
Yeah, it's a narrow tarmac road winding up through the mountain tomorrow morning, so there's definitely similarities to back home, and lots of bumps and jumps. So I think we have more grip back home, but definitely some similarities.
Well, it's been a tough week prepping for the rally. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's been a difficult week for everybody in motorsport and in the WRC. Obviously, we've been thinking about Creighton and what has happened throughout the week, and yeah, very difficult for everybody, but I'm glad we're here to start the rally. Everybody's going to do their best, and now we need to stay focused. Thank you to everybody to this point. All the support's been really good, and yeah, a lot of work to get here, and as I say, let's just try and do our best now.
Eamonn, you're just back, or recently back from Quattro River Rally in Croatia. It was an opportunity for you to get a bit of experience on the Croatian roads in advance of WRC Croatia. How did you find it?
Yeah, some opportunity now, to be fair. Literally got to drive on 3 of the exact stages that'll be used in less than 3 weeks now. So it's a unique opportunity. You don't see it happen too often, but when we found out about it, we jumped at it. Yeah, it's definitely different out there. It's very, very fast, deceivingly fast, and the tarmac's definitely not like it is back here in Ireland. There's usually in a stage in Ireland, you kind of have a consistent type of tarmac. Sometimes it might change, but not too often. Out there, it could change every half a kilometre or a kilometre. It's maybe 4 or 5 different types of tarmac out there, all with different grip levels. And then you've obviously got a lot of pollution on the roads too, because there's quite a lot of cuts people can take. So everything from mud to gravel that you have to watch out for. So, you really have to drive with your eyes and read the road all the time, because you can get caught out or you can drop time from being too careful. So yeah, it's definitely different, but obviously that was why we went out there, was to try and get a bit of a jump start and get some of that learning done in advance.
And with the different types of tarmac, and obviously, as you say, the pollution getting pulled out, is tire management quite tricky, especially if it's a high speed event?
It can, I guess it can be. We're allowed wets, kind of a soft slick, and then a 5, like a very hard slick. So if the weather's, I suppose, with the pollution, yes, obviously you'd want to go with maybe sometimes a softer tire to help with that if you feel like a stage is going to be very gravelly, especially for us in the juniors. We're running further back down the field, so after a load of Rally 1 and Rally 2 cars go over it, might as well be a gravel stage in some sections. But yeah, you want your softer tire to work, but then on the grippy sections you're going to wear down your tires, so you'll probably have to be quite strategic about where, if you can get away with using your hard tires, where you're going to use them, and try not to be too hard on the soft slicks, because they're your happy medium. They kind of work in all situations relatively well, and yeah, it'll be a challenge, but probably not as bad as your gravel events and the snow events with the studs. So it's it shouldn't be as challenging as them.
And you were competing in a Rally 3 Fiesta, which is what you'll be using in the JWRC. Did it give you a chance to play around with setup and get a feel for how the car will handle those conditions?
Yeah, absolutely. There wasn't really a stage where I don't think, between every stage, I think we made some form of a change, be it big or minor. And it was my first time driving the car on tarmac, so that was a new experience for me as well. But they're a great car. They're really, really, really nice to drive, really easy to drive. And, I suppose no matter what, I feel like it's the type of car, no matter what setup, whether you're too hard, too soft, you can still go in and drive it, and drive it really hard. It's one of them kind of cars. It's very positive. But yeah, we got a chance to play around with it. We tried, tried to see what the car would be like when it was really soft, and tried to stiffen it up as well to get a feel for it. So it was, again, that was the point of going out there. You have to try these things, and it was good to get a bit of an insight as to what worked best.
And you were out there obviously to get experience for the WRC, but were you also using it as an opportunity to benchmark yourself against the local drivers, or were you just doing your own thing for the weekend?
No, it was nice to try and see where we lay. Obviously, yeah, we we were trying out different things all the time, so we had to take that into consideration. But it was nice to try and look at the performance and see, where we were at when we knew things were going well and all things considering. And yeah, it was here. You don't go to a competition not to compete. That's a complete lie, no matter what anyone says. It's always nice to try and go and put in a decent stage time here and there. And yeah, it was. Look, we had a couple of dramas throughout the day that set us back in the timesheets. Yeah, I think we had a spin and a stall on one of the opening loop of the Sunday. And couldn't get the car restarted, so dropped. I think we dropped nearly a minute there, and then we got a puncture on the last loop. After again, it was tires that caught us out. It was really hot all day, and we decided we'd try the hard tire for the last loop, considering that others seemed to be using it and it seemed to be working well for them. And we bolted on four brand new hard tires and headed out the road, and it just started to rain. So we were like, God, it was pretty bad luck. And just when you've them type of tires on and it's wet, it just doesn't work, especially out there when there's not that much grip as it is. And yeah, I just even tried to manage it, just ran wide and nipped a curb and got a puncture. So, but again, that's why we were there. It was all part of the experience, and we know now.
And yourself and Connor brought the car home in 13th overall. Were you happy with the result?
Yeah, it was fine. Like, I hear that there's more in it. Like, I know there's more in it. I know there's more in me. But again, it's one of them things. You have to break it down. When you go out there, you have to look at, everything you're doing and figure out, what was hampering. When there's more there, we had to analyze it and say what was hampering us from being where we wanted to be. And that's what we've done when we've come back. We've broken it down in simple things like pace notes and the likes of setup choices and tires and stuff like that. We know, and then just general small things like my different types of the way I'm driving in certain areas. But again, it's all learning. So we have to try and be, I suppose, try and remain grounded and not think too much into it, and just keep working at it and trusting that it'll come. But yeah, look, it's not, some of the stage times were decent enough, but you always know there's more there, especially when you are competitive. You want to be at the top, and you can't let it get to you, but you have to, like I said, you have to remain grounded and just keep at it.
Yeah, I suppose stay focused on the mission in hand. And what other preparations going on then in advance of the JWRC itself?
Just your usual, a ton of DVD work, trying to keep on top of my fitness and basic things like sleep and diet and everything. The DVD work's definitely the main one, especially when you come to a rally that has such challenging stages. I think the three I did were probably the three easiest stages looking at the previous onboards. It's kind of like getting to base camp at Everest and then looking up and going, right, I have to climb the mountain now. But yeah, it's going to be some challenge. So just putting in the hours, trying to get that all ticked off, and yeah, just I suppose, like I said, other things, just trying to be routine and keeping on top of everything else. And again, that's where the likes of the Motorsport Ireland Rally Academy have helped us. I know we keep banging on about it, but it is a huge help in terms of having that resource to make sure we do keep on top of all that stuff at a high level as well. So yeah, the week leading up to the Quattro River Rally, some of us were in Spain too for a couple of days of testing and training and stuff like that. Is so beneficial, being able to go out and drive a Rally 2 car for 2 days and get other forms of tuition. It's unreal. So all of that stuff's been a massive benefit in my prep for Croatia. So yeah.
And you mentioned there doing the bit of work in the Hyundai R2 car, and you were in Quattro River then and the Fiesta Rally 3, and you were doing the WRC and the Polo. How is that jumping in and out of cars all the time? Like, does it help? Does it not? Is it a help or a hindrance, I suppose?
I haven't. I can't say. Well, I did it a bit last year. It helped last year definitely getting out of the Rally Two car back into a slower Rally Four car. I used that to my advantage last year. I was obviously very lucky to be able to do it, but the when you come out of the faster car and get into the slower car, it doesn't feel like you're going that fast all the time. So I kind of thought, that was my thinking behind if I had the opportunity to be in the Rally 2 cars this year, I'd take them. So that getting back into the Rally 3, there was no big crazy sensation of speed. But yeah, look, it always takes a bit of time to readjust and get used to the cars again. I think the biggest, I wouldn't say a hindrance, but the biggest thing is when you step from your Rally 3 car, Rally 4, whatever, back into your Rally 2, trying to remember the absolute performance that them cars have in terms of their braking and handling and everything. Just trusting that they have all the performance that they do. So sometimes that takes a bit of time, but here, look, no matter what you're driving, I think being behind the wheel is extremely beneficial. Whether it's Fiat Punto or a Polo R5, it's beneficial regardless.
And what do you call it? WRC Croatia itself? What's the game plan for you? What are you looking to achieve there?
Obviously we didn't finish in Sweden, so it'd be nice to try and see this one out. But obviously, you don't want to hang around either. So we just want to go and do our best and try and, I suppose, see where we're lying on Friday and make a plan based on that and try and see where we're at. It's interesting because the group of drivers this year seem to be all predominantly tarmac drivers. So I have a feeling it'll be really, really strong competition. But look, we're comfortable on tarmac as well. So we're just going to have to see where we lie. But for me, it's a matter of trying to be consistent and just, I suppose, looking at the gap in seconds per kilometre to the leaders and seeing if we can just reduce that gap bit by bit. That's something I didn't do in Sweden, and I felt like I should have, looking back. If we can just keep chipping away at that gap and consistently go in the right direction, I think, you can take your small wins and consistently build on what you're doing and come away with a positive feeling. So, yeah, that's probably the overall aim.
So, Eamonn, you've mentioned, the work that you have to do yourself, your own fitness, your diet, the sleep, going through the DVDs, etc. But, you're not alone here. There's a team behind you. What else is involved from their perspective?
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a huge effort that goes in from everyone on the back end of things. Like Connor, at the moment, he's probably looking at doing his Recce schedule and event schedule, which takes it just takes hours and so much time and thought, and that's what his evenings are dedicated to. Why maybe putting in hours in the DVD, that's what he's at. And the likes of William Aviti there, who's coming out with us, he's doing plenty of research and consistently giving us help and trying to deal with all the administrative stuff. And it's not simple either. There's a lot of time and thought that goes into that. There's other various people that are always constantly lending us a helping hand, and loads of phone calls, loads of conversations, getting as much info as possible. And then, of course, all our sponsors too, who back us and trust us to do this stuff. They've all been really good, and it'd be nice to try and get a positive result for all of them too, and give them something to smile about.
Eamonn, so here we are. We're just getting ready for the ceremonial start in Croatia. We spoke to you after your practice run that you had out on Rally Quattro. So you've done the shakedown, you've been out and done the Recce. Weather was pretty atrocious for the Recce. What's the thoughts and feelings now going into tomorrow?
Yeah, it's going to be a big challenge. The stages are mad. They're nothing like the one we did a few weeks ago. So narrow, big cuts, a lot of crests, and just so much stuff that can catch you out. So even though the conditions seem quite nice, it's still going to be a finisher's rally, I think. So, we want to try and keep our noses clean. We're not going to hang about either, but at the same time we have to remember that it's a very long way till Sunday. So keep that in mind and just try and get through tomorrow.
And what do you call it? Anything to watch out in particular for on the stages? Obviously, there's a lot of changes in the surface and the tarmac, but what about the pollution on the roads from the Recce, etc.?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, like, we're running quite far behind everybody else, so you're going to have a lot of WRC 1 and 2 cars pulling out everything, mud, gravel, rocks. So yeah, we're just going to have to follow the lines. Punctures is going to be a big thing too. A lot of lips of tarmac and stuff that can catch you out, and they're quite long stages too. So tyre wear is going to be an issue. But yeah, look, it's all part of the challenge. That's why we're here. We love a challenge, so I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, there'll be some experience.
And that's it. You say experience, and that's what the weekend is about, really, for you. Is that kind of the plan for the weekend? Keep the nose clean, get to the finish, get as much, under the belt as possible.
Yeah, definitely. We didn't finish Sweden, and that was disappointing. Of course, you always want to go out and improve your pace, but yeah, the experience is everything. Look, we're really lucky to be here, and just live every moment of it, enjoy it, and get all the experience we can get.
Patrick, we're just getting ready for the ceremonial start. It's been a tough week. The Recce was difficult with the weather, etc. What's your thoughts and feelings getting into the weekend?
Yeah, for sure, the Recce has been quite difficult. It was a big experience. We had a lot of stages to cram in with 2 days. So yeah, really looking forward to getting going now, and shakedown went quite well. So yeah, happy.
And what's your thoughts on the stages ahead? How difficult are they, or how different are they to stages back home?
The grip level is completely different. The road looks quite the same, but the grip level is quite different in a lot of places, so it will be very hard, but yeah, we're here to learn.
And as you say, you're here to learn, and it's about getting experience under the belt. What is the plan for the weekend for yourself?
It's just like you said, it's get around and get experience. There's no where I want to finish or anything, there's none of that. It's just getting experience and get to the finish.
And it's been a tough week for Motorsport Ireland and you guys, here trying to prep and trying to keep your head focused, etc. Where are the thoughts at this Thursday evening?
Exactly, like it's. I think everywhere you turn around, there's a reminder of Craig, and it's been a very, very tough week. So I think hopefully we can do him proud.
Eamonn, we're just getting ready now for the ceremonial start for Croatia. What's your thoughts now ahead of the weekend?
Actually, if the weather stays dry, it should be fairly okay. The roads are very similar to Ireland, but there's probably a lot more mud and dirt on it, but hopefully it should be okay.
And your own game plan for the weekend, what is the strategy?
Ensure we get back to the end.
And Eamonn, first time here in Croatia for yourself and MJ, is there any other rally like it that you can kind of, bring some experience to it, or how do you feel in the approach to it?
No, not really. I suppose, it's bumpy and narrow, and I suppose it's completely different than Monte Carlo maybe, but still it should be okay.
And Eamonn, look, obviously it's been a tough week for Motorsport Ireland. I don't know where your thoughts are at the moment with regard to Craig.
Oh sure, look, it couldn't be any worse, could it, in fairness? Sure, it's shocking.
Yeah, no, it's certainly been tough, and there was the tribute this afternoon. I'm sure it was good to be part of that and see that Craig was recognised for his skills and ability and his personality.
Oh sure, of course. Look, it's hard to believe Chap is only dead a week today, so, and the rally goes on, but unfortunately that's the way life isn't. It's terrible for Ray and Jackie and everyone. It's shocking.
Martin, first time in Croatia, is it?
Yes, my first time in Croatia. I got here on Sunday. My first time ever in Croatia, but a good reason to be here, I think.
And obviously Recce and shakedown complete. How you feeling starting the rally?
I won't say apprehensive, but focused, let's say, because my driver Hamid, he's a Kenyan guy, one of the junior drivers from there. The first kilometre of tarmac that he has ever driven in a rally car for his first time on a slick was on shakedown this morning. So it was a difficult recce for both of us in that he doesn't know what he doesn't know as regards notes and how tarmac is and so on. And it's quite a tough recce schedule. It's quite punishing. There's no room for delay. So we had a busy recce, let's say. But I hope that'll be the most difficult part of the rally. And now we're here for the good bit.
And your role here is not just co-driver. I presume it's mentor. I presume it's advisor.
Well, I'm not a driver by any manner or means. So I'm not a driver coach. but I'm going to try and help this guy, read the road. I know tarmac, I know notes. Hopefully it's not about speed really this weekend. It's about just getting him to the finish and keeping him from maybe making a mistake that a novice would make, because it's quite an unusual story. A guy comes from Kenya to Croatia, ends up with an Irish co-driver at the last minute, and he's doing his first ever rally on tarmac as a WRC rally, so it's quite the baptism of fire. But I've every faith in him. I think if we go into it with the right mindset and the right attitude, we will make the finish, and we'll do ourselves proud and get him a good result. So that's the main thing. That's the focus of the weekend. It would be remiss not to say that there's a tinge of sadness here, because our number one representative, Craig, who has done so much for Irish rallying and done so much for all of us. I can remember where his journey started, and none of us, I think, would have expected that it would get to the heights that it got to, except him. Of course, obviously, he backed himself and he believed in himself, and his family and everyone around him did, and he just, we had a nice tribute there to him that was sad in some senses, but nice in others, that when you stand and you look back at the pictures and the memories that he made and how happy he was when he was making them, and the team that was around him, it was nice to see that. And it still feels very raw and very shocking to us here, so it can only be worse for people at home. My heart go out to Ray and Jackie and the family. We're here today thinking of a rally, and we're thinking of Craig, but that's from a sporting side. There's the family side to it too, and he'll